guys. Hello, MicheleMarieDalene. Of course, it is, it is the 12th. I'm just straighten straight out here. And today, we got a couple pieces of news and views and information that I hope you can use. First of all, I got this latest letter from the EBT food stamp people here in Connecticut, and I wanted to share this general statement with everybody who receives EBT food stamps who lives in the state of Connecticut, because they're doing some system upgrades, and I'm going to read this verbatim, and to do that, we'll discuss some other things here. The important notice about EBT, this is dated in the November 1st, it just came here, so the EBT system will not be available during the morning of November 16th, 2014. Dear EBT card holder, we're writing to let you know that the state's electronic benefit transfer EBT system will not be available from Sunday morning, November 16th, 2014, beginning around midnight until about 10 a.m. During this period, your EBT card will not work at food stores, cash registers, and ATMs. The reason for this brief service interruption is to enable the state to change EBT vendors. Why? I don't know. No, wait. Let me finish here. Once the system is back up Sunday morning, your current EBT card will continue to work. There is no need to replace your card. There will be no impact on your ability to access your medical benefits or any time. Additionally, you will not be able to select or change your personal identification number or PIN for an existing or new EBT card beginning Friday, November 14th, 2014 at 10 p.m. until Sunday, November 16th, 2014 around 10 a.m. Recorded messages, recording system availability will be posted on the DSS client information line at 1-855-626-6632 and on the DSS website at www.ct.gov/DSS/EBT card during the weekend of November 15th through 16th, 2004. Thank you and regards from the Department of Social Services. I already got my food stamps this month, so that doesn't apply to me. I just wanted to share it with you because if you happen to be out of state and trying to get your food stamps somewhere else, because the cards are somewhat portable, you can actually use them in most other states. So if you're out of state, you may not have received your letter in the mail, and I figured it would save you some heartache. The next thing we're going to talk about is the weather forecast, because we're going to be seeing some snow coming up in a couple days. Nothing really significant snowfall. So let's get started with that. And thanks to the wonderful eye jobs at KNC, I'm able to get my life back together. I've been able to see better. Even though it's been less than a week, there has been some noted improvement in my left eye. My right eye, take a little longer. It's getting there. I can see already that my right eye is going to take longer to do, but I'm seeing some subtle, very slight changes in the positive from my right eye. Right now, the temperature here in Winston is 6 degrees Celsius. And as we go through and looking at the forecast here from theweatherchannel.com, and I'm loading up the Winston forecast. Here we go. Tonight, a low of -3. Clear, no snow, no clouds. Thursday, high is 7. A low of -1. 0% chance of precipitation. Now look at Friday. Okay, it says here we're supposed to be possibly get about 2 to 3 centimeters of snow between Thursday and Friday. Now Friday more afternoon will be a high of 3 and a low of -5 with 20% chance of precipitation. Saturday shows it's going to be Mostly sunny, a high of 1, a low of -4, 0% chance of precipitation. And Sunday, the will be mostly cloudy, high of 3, a low of -1, 10% chance of precipitation. Now, listen to this. Monday, November 17th, high of 5, a low of 0, 80% chance of precipitation. Looks like it's supposed to be rain, not snow, but it might turn into snow later on at night, because as we go through the high time, it'll be getting close to freezing. Tuesday, high, and this is the 18th now, a high of 1, a low of -6, 20% chance of precipitation. On Wednesday, also the same kind of situation here. Wednesday, as I said, was a high of 0 and a low of -5. Thursday, also sunny, will be a high of 3, a low of -4. And Friday, the last day I have here, is the 21st. It says a high of 3, a low of -2, with 20% chance of precipitation. Clouds will be moving in. Now, first of all, I already know that we have our icy fingers for Autumn Stewardess has been doing their job and making people's lives in the Midwest of the United States a little more of a challenge. However, that's icy fingers are coming this way. As you can see from the lows, it's going to get cold out there. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not pulling no punches here. You guys really should make sure to dress warmly if you can. And second of all is, I don't want to hear anybody whining tell me that they weren't ready for the snowstorm. What do you mean you're not ready for the snowstorm? You mean to tell me I've been telling you these weather storms all this time and you're still not ready? Well, honey, I hate to tell you that Yule's coming up like a freight train from hell, and when Yule comes, I'm not going to be sitting there being nice about it. I got a job to do. And I've been trying to warn you. I've been hammering it down your throat over and over again. Please dress warmly. Please prepare. I cannot stress enough that even though I love winter and I love the cold and the snow and iciness, I also realize there's also likeliness of a good way to die of hypothermia. And if you're not prepared for that, please notify your next of kin right now. Okay? Because I can't help you if you're going to freeze to death. Okay? That's not my fault. Now, also another news is retrospect. Yes, take up your software. I finally was able to upgrade it to Workstation, and I did not have to buy a whole new copy of the software to do it. Just had to get a copy of the registration code. Yay! Now I got able to back up my computer using my tape drive. So let's talk about that briefly, because this is kind of an all-call video, which means it covers all kinds of topics, and some are exciting and some are the pits. Well, here's one that's kind of a mixed bag. Does it work? Yes. Does it work well? As far as I can see, yes. Do I like retrospect? Could be better. I really, be honest with you, I really rather have used something like Amanda or maybe even PRU, which is backup restore utility, but unfortunately the driver I have for my tape drive is not for does not automatically feature unloaded features. So I was always manually popping in and out, loading cartridges, unloading cartridges from the drive by selecting the cartridge in the carousel. This is automated. So I basically, like I did last night, I just, again, reran the backup, and it did its job perfectly fine. Now, also, I want to let you know that we're also doing some other work here in the studio as well. When you'll notice we have our blue wall in the background. And I want to try again to do the chroma key on the blue wall. Now, the problem we're running into when using chroma key live is I noticed that the colors... illumination is not exactly perfect. Also, originally, we had too much blue in the picture, so I had to turn the color balance down a little bit because my top was turning blue. It had a blue sheen to it. So when I was using the Final Cut Express and using the the blue chroma key selection tool, it was selecting the wrong colors and making a real mess of everything. I don't necessarily think chroma key is always necessarily going to be a very popular feature around here, but you know what? I'd like to try the new things. By the way, some people asking why I do not have my landlord turn my heat on anymore. Because, first of all, this light's alone throwing enough heat. They've been on for a few hours now because I originally was supposed to get a video done earlier. But unfortunately, our computer was still doing maintenance. I may be the bitch operator from hell when it comes to that because, frankly, I like my computers to be at the top of the game. I mean, they have to be at 100% peak performance at all times. I do not tolerate laggy, slow machines with fragmented hard drives that have pieces of data files here, there, and everywhere. So, yes, I ran the defrag program, which unfortunately makes me also gives me a little sense of consternation with OS 10 and the fact that they stuck with the HFS Plus file hierarchy. Anybody who knows anything about the Mac knows that the HFS 10 HFS Plus is really a variation of FAT. The problem is that Apple throws a lot of other stuff in. It's kind of like what Windows 3.1 is versus MS-DOS. It's an overlay on an original file system called HFS, and it's really makes it kind of awkward way it stores its attributes and owners and permission bits are stored in a place called catalog file. It's not stored in the directory entry like you would see in the standard Linux or BSD file system. Because it is technically a file allocation table, it's not EXTFS, which is of course the Linux file system. It does get fragmented, and especially if you're moving, loading, unloading a lot of big binary files like videos come to mind, especially videos. That's these things. They take a lot of work to process. If you can keep your file tree nice and tight, they process a lot faster and they work better. Now, obviously, with all the changes going on in the computer, you probably want to know how are we going to keep up with the situation with my eyes. Well, let me just check something here in the microphone here. You see these headphones. You probably wonder why I have them on this desk. That's because I use it to check the sound, see if it works good, and I'm getting it on the recording. At least it's going to the head end there. What do you call it? The production room, control center, which is the Power Mac G5, and it takes care of all the rendering and video processing and things like that. It's really, really a pain in the butt when you have the Mac is doing maintenance and you can't even do a video. Never mind checking a website, which is the next piece of news. I have contacted Frontier Communications. Frontier Communications in Connecticut has purchased the right to a large portion of the AT&T wireline services. Now, the wireline services includes home phone, internet, which anything that goes through a piece of cable or fiber optic cable in most areas. Unfortunately, they're still kind of migrating, and there were some issues about my accounts. And finally, I nailed them down today. Yes. Okay, so next month, December 3rd, I got to pay 2 months of the internet because of the fact that I didn't pay it this month because there was no way I could pay it. I couldn't pay it to AT&T. They didn't want it. I couldn't pay it to Frontier because I didn't know my account number. And so what I did was I contacted Frontier then, and they said to me, well, when you get your bill, pay it then. Okay, I was going to do that. So, but then I didn't know when the bill was coming. Well, the bill's coming. It's coming. Okay? They're getting ready to print it soon. So that should take care of that problem relatively quickly. Now, is that going to screw up my eye care? No. what's going to screw up my eye care is the dental care. Hello. Did you forget I still got a broken tooth? Yeah, that tooth is still there. And yes, it's still flapping away in the wind. And we're going to fix that. How are we going to do that? Well, normally a procedure like that would be is to use a cap or a crown to replace the broken top of the tooth with a new replacement. That's going to cost ka-ching money. Lots of it. At least probably about $2,000 at least to get a crown. Well, if you're going to go that far, get a bridge here for the front to fix these guys and put a missing tooth in here. What they call it, a 3-unit bridge. After all, it'd be easy to file this down and reshape this to put 2 crowns, which are the abutments onto that, and fill the gap. But I would definitely tell the dentist, if we decide to do that in the future, that I want the bridge to be somewhat removable so that it'll be easier to clean. Because it's really, really important that you got to be able to clean underneath the bridge. Otherwise, you can have all kinds of nasty stuff, including periodontal disease, and you don't want that, right? No, not me. Oh boy, there's a lot of things going on. Oh, really? My turn? Your turn. Yeah, why don't you tell me a lot? Okay. First of all, I haven't talked to you very much. We were supposed to do a radio broadcast this morning. We did one, but we didn't put it up. We did one a couple days ago. We didn't put it up. We didn't put it up either. You know why? Why? Because I didn't think they sounded that great. Yeah, they were kind of yucky. Yeah, yucky. So, what's the future hold? My stomach is growling. I'm hungry. I know. We ate today. We had lunch at the soup kitchen, but really wasn't very filling. And we do have some pasta with butter for tonight. Ugh. Oh God, not again. You had that yesterday. By the way, the weight report. Oh God, the weight report. Brought to you by nobody in particular. I have lost a little bit of weight, a tiny bit, so I should be getting back on my feet again. Unfortunately, both me and my cats have both kind of gotten a little bit voluptuous lately, and they are fat as houses as I am, and they've been eating cat food like left and right. I've been eating junk food left and right. Like I said, point given yet. Okay, so I'm going to be working on that. Now, I've obviously had planned to put $100 into the savings account. That's right, $100 U.S. Ooh, nice, yeah. And then hopefully next month we hope to put another $100 into the savings account. That's $200. That'll be a good start for depending on how much the dentist wants for the repair. I'll be seeing him on Friday. And we're going to find out how much it's going to cost. And for those of you who are wondering to know how we're going to fund the sucker, we are going to create a GoFundMe specifically to fix my teeth. It'll be a different GoFundMe project because I don't want to get that mixed up with the main video page to improve the studio, because that wouldn't be fair to you, and it sure to hell wouldn't be ethically fair to me. We'll be providing you with appropriate documentation as along a copy of an estimate so you can see that I'm not blowing smoke up my asshole. However, we all know that the economy sucks right now, and that more than likely the tooth will be flopping in the wind for a few more years. I don't think it's going to last that long. I think if you're lucky if it doesn't get decayed, and if it does, it's going to be hurt. Yeah, hurt. Glad you brought that up. In fact, you were eating grape nut cereal and it got caught in there and it hurt. Well, grape nuts hurt. I know that. Michelle's trying to eat grape nut cereal, and the stupid stuff got into the hole in the molar. I was like, ah! Well, my nerve is good. Yeah, your nerve is good, yes, but it's not the point. Don't abuse what you don't have to abuse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, great. Okay. Now, it's been a pretty uneventful month in November. Well, let's talk about where you are as far as the CNC eye drops, because you did mention it, but you didn't go into much detail. Maybe you could explain first-hand experience what you're experiencing. Okay, the right eye I'm starting to see it a little bit better, but it's still got a long way to go. It's only been less than a week, so please don't expect it's going to be done tomorrow. It ain't going to be done that quick. But my left eye seemed to have improved quite a bit. The first few days I noticed improvement. It was like getting a brand new pair of glasses. I was like, whoa! And everything's like super sharp. And now your eyes got used to it. And I'm like, yeah, but then unfortunately I strained myself to death. Bad move. Yeah, I was installing the software for retrospect. Double bad move. Come on. Well, at least you got it backed up and installed. Then Michelle got her computer backed up. Yes. Okay, but you're almost out of tapes. You're almost out of tapes. Oh, lordy, lord. Oh, you know what? I gotta tell you something. What? We got to find a better way to back up that computer. Really. Yeah, I think you're right about that. I mean, we have to back up the computer somehow, but do you really have an idea? No. Okay, we'll figure it out. We have we got another 5-pack of tapes that have not been opened yet, so we are not totally out yet, but we will be wanting to plan ahead and get some more tapes. Also, we were considering getting another disk drive, but we were able to clear off enough space on the main hard drive, because now we were able to do successful backups to the tape drive. We were actually able to start clearing off some of the extra cruft on the main computer hard drive, giving us more room for editing videos and things like that. And one of the things I definitely want to get done is I want to start trying to improve on the chroma key effects so that we can do things like overlays. Overlays you can do now. It's not the overlays that's the problem. It's the chroma key. Yes, I can add little overlays using iMovie 8 from hell, or I can use Final Cut Express to do overlays. I've never done overlays with Final Cut Express, so bear with me, okay? It'll be something I will be learning how to do as we go. Unfortunately, the iMovie 6 overlays no longer work because of 2 reasons. Number one, they work better under Tiger than they do under Leopard, because our system is not a pile of mixed protoplasm of junk of drivers and stuff from 2 different OSs. It's just Leopard now. It's not hybrid mixed with Tiger and Leopard and libraries from Panther and got everything else. That was the only way I got it to work. It was the only way I got it to work. And then, of course, the problem is now I can't find the matching libraries that exist under Tiger, don't exist in Leopard, and so I'm not going to go ahead and beat my head against the wall trying to fix iMovie 6 HD overlay so we can do over the shoulder overlays. Besides, most of the time we don't even use overlays anyway. We can always insert a picture. So if I wanted to show you a picture, I could just go ahead and add the picture in and then just keep the soundtrack the same. I could do that under Final Cut Express. I can do that under iMovie 8. And I think I can do it under iMovie 6, but don't hold me to it. It certainly is a way to do things. And I think that right now I think the biggest problem is that you're bored. I'm bored. I have nothing to do, and it shows. I can see. Yeah, you're sitting there. I'm bored. Okay, right, I'm bored. Okay, now, So, this winter, you're going to basically be doing your work and starting on Yule to Ostara. And is there anything that you really want to remind people that you have not already said? Have a snow shovel. There, I said it. Have a snow shovel. Have a good, decent winter jacket. Make sure if you have a snow blower, make sure it works. If you have a generator, make sure it works too. Okay? We already see that the temperatures, the Midwest is what's coming towards us. Also, make sure to not force your cats to sit out in the cold or your dog, okay? I'm serious. I don't want to see anybody telling me and bitching at me and saying telling me my dog was going to get frostbite. I'm telling you now, your dog could probably get frostbite, so please dress him accordingly. And, I wanted to talk to you, Lim, about the Once Upon a Time Frozen with Elsa and the Snow Queen. Okay, first of all, the Snow Queen looks like you. Somewhat. Okay, she looks like she's got the same eye color you got. Mm-hmm. And she's got the same hairstyle you got. Pretty close, yep. But unfortunately, in the last episode, she acted like a bully. Yeah, I don't know how I would react if I was in Emma's shoes, personally. I think I would have been a little bit uncomfortable with the way that the Snow Queen, her name is, I believe, Ingrid, was making her feel really uncomfortable. She also made Elsa feel extremely uncomfortable. Why? Because she kept saying it's how bullies work sometimes, unfortunately. Because you are unique and because you have magic, people are afraid of us because they are afraid of us thinking we're monsters. You got magic ability. Yeah, I don't think you're a monster. That's because we share the same flesh limb. But if you were thinking about if you were a third party and I decided to basically throw a snowstorm at you, I don't think you'd be particularly very comfortable. You'd be like the Duke of Weaselton. You'd be sitting there going, "Monster! I'm not a monster. Honest, I'm not. I really don't. I know that. But neither is Elsa. But yet, the way the Snow Queen made her Elsa feel, made her feel like she was inadequate. We went through this before, didn't we? When you were experiencing what it was like to be evil. Yes, I did. But also we have to remember that the Snow Queen herself also had been traumatized and almost like a bully. And so she took it out on innocent people. It's kind of sad. It really is. But it happens. It happens. And so what's going to happen to the Snow Queen? Do I think the RSQ is going to ever come to grips with herself? I don't know. Snow Queen is definitely thinks she had the upper hand. Well, in the case, she actually, in the end, she negotiated a deal with Rumpelstiltskin. Oh, God. No, it's all we need to hear. I wonder what it was. I don't know. She whispered in his ear, and he gave a big grin on his face from ear to ear, like, "Oh, I got the thing I want now." What does he want? He wants to totally charge that hat. Oh, really? Yeah. And he could have the superpowers. But part of me still feels bad for the Snow Queen, even though she acted like a villain in one sense, because she doesn't really seem villainy. There is also a hypothetical possibility. Once Upon a Time is going to have another villain come on the show, and this villain is not a fairy tale villain. Nope. It's Cruella de Vil. That's right, Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians is going to be on Once Upon a Time during the second half of the season, after the end of the Frozen arc. Now, what about our arc? What about our cable channel? You haven't really talked much about that. Well, we still technically have one more program coming up for the season. And instead of wasting a blank DVD to just put one video on it, we're going to immediately put the new season 2, episodes 1 through 4 on the DVD. Now, Chris asked me, he said, would you like to rerun any of the videos again? I said, I'm not really sure yet. Part of me says, I don't want to, but part of me says, yeah, no. I don't know either. But, DVDs are not exactly expensive, but, when you're on a fixed income, it does hurt. Yep. By the way, speaking of income, our Frontier Communications has given me an off-the-record statement that they say probably in about 3 to 5 months they plan to upgrade my area so we can have even faster upload speeds. That'd be great for the broadband. That'd be great for getting video live streaming. Oh, I know you would. I want that. Oh, trust me. And we've been talking about live streaming for years, and yet we never did it. If we can get the system working good enough to do live streaming. But we got a problem. We have to figure out how to convert the Macintosh software using RTTP to RTSP so that we can send the video, because unfortunately QuickTime Broadcast does not work with YouTube. No, it doesn't. I'm glad you brought that up. I have got to work on getting it some kind of a port or shim set up so that we can actually do video upload. What about you got Flash, but it's old Flash. Would that old Flash be able to do video streaming? Maybe. That's something I'll need to work on. I think we could do it, but it's going to take some time. But we got a few months before we go there anyway. I'm not going to go there right now. It's not... I've done some preliminary testing. It is doable, but it's going to be really challenging to make it all work. Yeah. By the way, Michelle's eye is doing a lot better, like she said, but you still got a big halo in this eye, which is the right eye. Yeah, you don't have a halo for a while longer, because that's pretty bad. You can almost see the light bulb, though. Almost see the light bulb. And I certainly can see the light bulb here in this eye, which still has a halo. On occasion, there's spots of my left eye has a little bit of a cataract too. It's doing better, but it's not perfect yet. So you're thinking is that you want to try to continue the treatment in maybe in January. I would like to continue the treatment even in December, but I don't know if we're going to have the funds to do it. Right. So we'll have to keep working on it. And we'll do what we can. And we were talking, as you know, about trying to, for the future of getting the new hard drive, possibly buying a second hard drive for the computer. Yeah, but like I said before, you've got the tape drive working now, and I don't think we really need to have a second hard drive upgrade on the computer, because I think it only will compound the problems of then you'll have more hard drive to back up than you have tapes. That's the one thing reason I have to say is I think it's time to just go in there and start cleaning house and just getting rid of any extra garbage that has been allowed to collect. You've already done quite a bit of cleaning. I think you got a little more to do. The biggest problem is 2 areas. We can't really get rid of the one, because if we do that, we'll screw up everything. iTunes, exactly. You can't get rid of iTunes because they'll screw up everything. iPhoto, I don't want to erase it because it's got my photos in it. But on the other hand, I'd like to move it to another folder. Any particular location? I don't know yet. I'm gonna work on it. Okay. What do you think about Tom Lupshu's suggestion about hoarding rice and pasta? Doable. It's something you can do. You easily can get rice cheap. You can either buy several little 1 pound bags of rice, like from the local rice company, or you can buy a big 20-pound bag and then put it into small Ziploc baggies, seal them tight, and then you don't even need to vacuum pack it, do you? No, but just keep it dry. Just keep it dry. Same thing with pasta. It'll last a long time. A 20-pound bag of rice, he's suggesting taking that 20-pound bag of rice and making 20 little bags of rice, mostly for barter. It also makes it easier for meals, too. After all, who wants to have to open a big 20-pound bag of rice if it's just going to be cooking for one, maybe for a family of 2 or 1. So he's right there. If you can put a little bag of rice into into smaller sizes, it'll be easier to provide, easier to store, keep the bugs out. You only open up what you need. Because you open a big bag of rice, what's going to happen is the bugs, cockroaches, God knows what else is going to get in there and contaminate it. Rats, mice, yeah. So if you seal them in individual little bags, like Ziploc bags, for example, is as good as any, and just seal them, keep them dry, put them in a nice little corner, cubby hole, you'll be fine. Because remember, the world has been eating rice for a long time. It is one of the key grains of eating food. The same also applies, of course, for things like barley, oats, wheat. Notice I didn't say flour, because once you have flour, what happens is after a while the flour starts to go rancid. It's best to have whole oats and grains, and that you can crush those down as needed in your mill to make the flour for your cakes and pies and whatever. And because it is dry, it's going to last you a while. And after all, remember, it's a good idea to have a food preparation plan no matter what, because we have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow or next week. So if you have a food storage plan on hand that makes sense, do it. Also, make sure you realize that regular good old table sugar, when kept dry in a sealed container, will last a long time. Unfortunately, your typical bags of sugar you get in the store are not bug proof. You definitely are going to want to transfer that sugar in. You can put the sugar in plastic bags again. There's only one thing that doesn't work: putting it into plastic bags. Coffee. Because coffee, as it's sitting on the shelf, starts to release carbon dioxide. And what happens is the carbon dioxide gas, if it doesn't allow it to escape, can cause the bag to pop open. So you definitely want to use, if you're going to keep whole beans of coffee around, make sure to be aware that you might have to find a way to keep the coffee fresh, but not make it so damn airtight that the pressure of the beans can actually cause the bag to pop open. So if you're gonna just check it, just like a balloon, because overinflate a balloon, it's gonna pop. And obviously, if you fill a bag up, a pound of coffee beans in a bag that's really small, it's going to fill up the spaces with carbon dioxide gas, and of course, eventually, it's gonna pop open, and then you're gonna end up having your coffee is gonna start to go bad. Actually, coffee doesn't normally go bad on a regular basis. No, it starts to taste kind of crappy after a while. Yeah, okay, but it's not really like it's going to spoil. If it stays dry, it shouldn't. No. Also, what about things like, this is really something I've been doing some research into this too. Remember I told you I was going to try to find a way to deal with how to prepare on a fixed income. What Tom Lepshew suggested, I gave him a high five for, because that's something that a person on disability can do. Even if you don't decide to buy a 20-pound bag of rice and you want to use those little 1-pound bags, that's fine. It's already in a bag, right? You just keep the bag sealed, you keep it in your pantry, keep it dry, it's going to last you. It doesn't go bad. As long as it's sealed, the bugs can get into it, you're okay. Same thing with wheat and corn, dry corn and barley and oats. It's when you start leaving them in big giant bags and open, you can start getting bugs and insects and rodents, and that's when you're going to have problems. So you don't want to go there, but just pack it in small little plastic bags and you should be okay. Now, what about things like fruits? And, well, I don't really like dehydrated apples and fruits and things like that. But you know what? Yes, you definitely could take your apples and your carrot and your vegetables and fruits and either can them, or you can use a food dehydrator to prepare food for long-term storage, which is certainly something that should be done. Always a good idea to have a backup plan. Always a good idea. And that's what we're going to be doing here. Now, obviously, if you can't buy the eye drops in December, then does that mean your eyes are going to degrade back to where they were? I don't know. I don't know how fast that happens, Lim. I can't tell you. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we still have enough eye drops for about another week. If I didn't spill any, you spilled a little bit in your eye. I think you missed it a few times. Right, so figure I got a whole new vial I haven't used yet. And the other vial feels like it's half full. So that's about another week and a half. Okay, so we still have about 3 weeks estimate. And so we can definitely figure out that by the time December comes around, we'll need a reload. You also got to get some regular prescriptions too, because you're almost out of the simvastatin. Yes, I do have to make sure to get down to the pharmacy to pick up my prescriptions in the future. You're right, I'm going to need to refill on almost everything. Everything but the levothyroxine, which is for the liver, or thyroid, is you have enough there for at least until December, but the other ones, the simvastatin, you're going to run out of. The niacinamide you still look like you're okay with. Celebrex looks like you're okay with for the time being. Right, so I'm going to probably have to call in 2 refills, maybe 3. And certainly, if you want to keep up with the CNC reports, definitely subscribe. In that way, you always know how we're doing with the product for the eyes. And last thing is, it's going to be getting cold for the next few days. Like I said before, please dress accordingly. Make sure that you really, pets, cats, dogs, whatever, really insist on going outside. For whatever reason, try to limit their exposure to the outside as much as you can, because I don't want to see them get frostbite or worse. Okay. And also because we are going to start seeing snowflakes probably very soon. What we're going to be seeing probably on Thursday night, Friday morning isn't really enough to really be a major issue. But I am going to remind you right now, please do shovel your goddamn sidewalk. I'm not going to lie when I say that. And not only is it required in many town ordinances, it's just common sense. If people have to walk on the sidewalks, and they rather go straight from point A to point B and not have to worry about getting over snowbanks. I've certainly done my share of going over many snowbanks from people's houses, or people have been told, especially renters, have told me, well, my landlord didn't bother to shovel today. Well, your landlord better get on his backside and get off his couch and do some work. Because not only is it a safety hazard, if you can't get from point A to point B because you didn't shovel the sidewalk, it's also a liability possibly for lawsuit, i.e., being sued for personal injury. Not very nice at all. I don't want to see that happen to you. So even if you're a renter, grab a goddamn shovel and do the work, okay? I'm serious. If you think it's really bad enough, and I really do mean it, I mean, not so much when we get 2 to 3 centimeters of width, but when we get like 10, 20, 30 centimeters of snow, you better make sure that place is clear, okay? It's just common sense, honestly. And make sure, too, that You keep your areas around your fire hydrants or any mailboxes clear so the firemen and postal workers can deliver your mail to your home. And always make sure that it's clear so the meter man for the electric, gas, water meter, whatever, can read the meter safely. That's just also a common sense thing. I really feel kind of stupid after reiterating what should be obviously clear. It just turns out in this world that there's a lot of people that are not aware of this. Speaking of not clear, you want to talk about this guy, Gruber, who created, was the architect of Obamacare, is trying to backpedal first and apologize for calling American people idiots for not understanding Obamacare. Well, first of all, Mr. Gruber, your goddamn thing is over 1,200 pages long, and it's not like the average person is going to read that in a weekend. It's probably more exciting reading it than like reading any other legal contract. It's not like it's a simple like Harlequin romance novel that someone's going to want to sink their teeth into. So don't call American people idiots, because that's not fair. Okay? They certainly did not even have a chance to understand what they did. And on top of that, Obama changed so many sections of Obamacare over and over again. People don't even know what they did anymore. Right, that's true. Oh, by the way, what about this idea, the Republican plan? What are they going to? Are they going to repeal it, or are they going to just amend it, or what? The lame duck session said that they're going to look at repairing, for the time being, Obamacare, fixing the problems that need to be fixed, because it'll be too difficult to replace it without a plan. And so they want to go ahead and they want to work on trying to fix it, so at least to meet the needs of both the Republican Party and the Democrats. Now, we obviously are, Republicans right now are in charge, will be in charge of the House and the Senate, and technically, yes, they're in charge of the Supreme Court as well. But, it's going to take a while to get this done. Speaking of interesting, Obama wants the internet to be regulated under the common carrier. What did Mr. Stephenson of AT&T say? Well, we are not aware of what we're going to do now, so we're going to halt any expansions in infrastructure until we find out what the clear plan is for the internet. What? Why? He's saying is that right now the situation is too uncertain. I think he's trying to say is, because we're not going to be able to have multiple premier access, high speed internet, what they call those things there, tiered access sounds as good as any. Basically pay more if you're a provider to get faster rate. Pay if you want to get the free, you get the crappy link. We would be getting the crappy link. We would be if we weren't using YouTube, yes, but we use YouTube, so we probably would be getting the premiere if YouTube decided to pay for that. Speaking of YouTube, that's another thing. YouTube is going to be starting an audio service for music. Advertising free, but fee-based. Okay. But what if you want to do things with audio that has nothing to do with music? Like what we do at Your Listen. I don't know. That's a great question, Loom. I don't know yet. I really wish I could give you a definitive, absolute answer, but I don't know how that's going to work. Right. Well, guys, anyway, that's enough for now. Don't forget, I hope to hear from you. And if you want to send me a private email, you certainly can do so. It's bsandboyichala3@gmail.com. And if you want to send me one, it's lumifinistra@gmail.com. you want to make a donation, our donations now can be sent to bcast11122014 for PayPal or bcast11122014 for PayPal. And of course, if you're watching this on GoFundMe, you can always send me a donation through that too at www.gofundme.com/BICHELA. And also on Patreon at www.patreon.com/BICHELA. And we really could use your help to offset and defray the operating expenses for doing videos, because they can get really expensive after a while. And I know that this channel here has really kind of stagnated, and I'm really sorry about that. We're gonna work on trying to get it up, some new videos in, but you know, life happens, and I do more than sit behind a microphone every day. She sure does. All right, talk to you later, guys. Bye bye. Bye bye, everybody.